Hey guys, it's Tori. Today what I'm going to do is basically try the Conspiracy palette. I finally got it whenever Shane released, I think, the second release of the palettes. It might have been the third, I don't remember. But I got it, and I finally am able to do something with it. And then I also have the mini Controversy palette, and I'm going to try to do a makeup look with it. I'm not a makeup beauty guru. I'm not good at makeup. I enjoy it. It's fun for me, and I like to experiment with it, and I really am excited to use the palette. Basically, I used Witch Hazel toner, and then I put lotion on my face, and I also already primed, and I'm gonna let that soak into my skin while I'm doing my eyes. So we will try to get into it and see what we can do. I've only opened it one time just to like look at it. I honestly don't want to even touch it because I don't want to ruin it. It's really cool, very well made. I have been a huge fan of Shane Dawson for a very long time, and it's just so cool. Like, I am very impressed. I will say that when I very first got it, I haven't touched it or anything since, it did have a very chemically smell, if you'll call it that. Like, it smelled like Sharpies. It still has that Sharpie smell, so I don't know why that is the case. My main focus for today is to just focus on these two palettes though, and not pull from the Thirsty palette. If I can, there's not a whole ton of shimmer in here. Well, actually, yeah, there's quite a bit, so I probably can pull something together. Like I said, I really am not good at makeup, but I very much enjoy doing it and playing with it. So I think, honestly, what I'm going to do is go for my pills and just have it be all throughout my entire lid. Whoa, that's extreme fallout. That was crazy. I used this big thing, and I, like, dipped it in there, and it was, like, puff. Yeah, I'm not gonna not lie, like, if there's things about the palette that I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of, I'm gonna be like, yeah, not a huge fan of that. And that fallout was definitely not something I'm a huge fan of. So there's the fallout just from using it once. This is water, by the way. Not an alcoholic, thank you. So I'm gonna go with pigment, the fluffy pink color, and put it here, and then try to build off of that. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, that color is actually really pretty. Maybe I should do pigment here, and then put Trisha over that, and then have the lid be sparkly, and then just do a pink look. Because I'm wearing neutral colors so that I can play with like fun colors so I don't look weird. I'm gonna do it. We're just gonna go for it. We gotta go for it, guys. I don't know what really to talk about because the things I want to talk about I probably shouldn't. I guess I can talk about, I got a promotion in my job, so that's fun. I'm now a specialist in my job, and I will be working with little kids. So that's really exciting for me. The only sad part about that is I have to transfer the kids that I currently have off my caseload eventually. So I'm a little bit sad about that because I've built good relationships with them, and I've seen a lot of them have really good progress, and I'm worried that having to transfer them out to someone else could set them back again. Trust is a really big thing to open up to someone, and if you're constantly being transferred to new case managers, like, how likely are you to want to open up to that new case manager? So that's my concern, is that they would have a hard time transitioning into opening up and talking to a new person. But I have faith that we have really good case managers, and the people that they would be transferred to would do well with them. I'm putting ranch right here, by the way. And I guess I can give a little update on that for anyone who came from that video. I feel like I'm back to where, like, I was before the depo shot, but honestly I was on the shot for so long that it's hard to remember kind of how. I really like that ranch color. Wow, it's very like luminant, luminescent, I don't know what the word is, but I really enjoy it. But yeah, it's hard to remember where I was before the shot just because I've been on or had been on the shot for so long that it's hard to recall how things were prior to that. But I do feel a sense of normalcy, and I'm not having the symptoms I was even after getting off the shot for a long time, so it feels good to be back to my normal self. Feels good. I'm just going back in with pigment, by the way, to kind of blend out because there's like harsh lines in here now. But yeah, I will never regret getting off the shot. I have people who are still asking me questions about the depo shot, and I've tried to answer as many questions as possible, but I do want to mention that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a specialist, and I think it's important to talk to your doctor or talk to someone that you trust in the medical field about it, because I don't have all the answers. But I do think that there's something to be said about this many people having the exact same experience with something like this shot. So I don't know, I guess a lot of people are experiencing the same thing, and that makes me think that there's a lot of truth in some people's accusations about the shot, but doctors for some reason are not being honest about it. Or I do think that they're being honest about the symptoms and stuff of the shot, but they're just not. They make it sound as if it's not a big deal. Like whenever they were giving me the shot, they had like this little packet that was like a crumpled up piece of paper that had like a ton of information on it, but they were like, oh, these are just some of the things that some people experience, like 3%, 5% of people experience these symptoms, but you have nothing to worry about. Like they just made it sound like, oh, only a couple of people get osteoporosis, only a couple of people have infertility or can't get pregnant for a year after the shot, or only a couple of people have their periods messed up. Like they talk about the symptoms, they just don't like make it as serious as it is, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Probably not if you have no idea about the shot, but I think that some of the symptoms that could happen from there, like hot flashes and everything, are very serious. I read a comment on my video recently, and I haven't replied to it, I don't think, anymore. I try to reply to everyone on there, but there's so many people that it's hard. But someone commented recently that hot flashes and a couple of other symptoms that I was having was signs of premenopause, and that kind of scared me. So I think that's like part of why I didn't reply to that comment, because I want to do my own research, but I also do not want to do my own research because I don't want to know if I was experiencing or am experiencing premenopause, simply because I want children, and that obviously would prevent me from having kids. But I can't even imagine the pain that you must go through if you experience infertility. To me, that's terrifying. I truly don't know how I would be able to get through something like that, and there is literally no way I could pay for IVF. I actually know quite a bit of people who are infertile or are having infertility issues, and they can't get pregnant on their own, but they also cannot afford IVF or IUI or a surrogate. I actually work with a coworker who is a surrogate, and she's not disclosed how much money she's getting paid, but it sounds like a lot. So there's a lot of money to be made in that business, which is really sad, but also like understandable. I'm taking just a theory and putting it on like the lid of my eyes. And by the way, my eyes are kind of burning, so I don't know what that's about, but I'm not a huge fan of that. So hopefully that's just my eyes being sensitive right now and not like a reaction. I'm a little afraid that it's a reaction simply because I had that smell. But I wanted to talk about something that I feel like not a whole ton of people talk about, and I don't know if people can relate to it on my channel. I don't know what your life is like or what your life story is or whatever, but I just guess I'll give a little bit of insight into how I'm feeling right now. So I am 23 years old. I got married November 9th, 2019, and I think I'm gonna put root beer, diet root beer. I am kind of at like a weird position in my life. I graduated college in December with my bachelor's degree, but I kind of can't afford to get my master's right now, or else I would. I'm gonna wait probably a year and then go in 2021, depending on what's gonna happen. I do not like that, but now I have to stick with it, so that sucks. But basically what I'm trying to say is I don't know what to do with my life right now. Like, you know how you have this plan in your head and you're gonna fulfill that plan, and once you fulfill that plan, you're like, okay, so now I have this next goal, and then I have this next goal, and then you keep accomplishing those goals, you keep fulfilling those goals, and then you get to a point where it's like, what's next? I had the idea that I was going to graduate high school early and go to college. So I accomplished that. And then I had the idea I am going to graduate college and I want to get engaged in college. Both those things happened. And then I had the want to get married and graduate college. So I got married and I graduated college. So now I'm at this part in my life where there's nothing that I'm working towards that's fulfilling my desire, my, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, fulfilling this inner part of me that I feel like I always need to be doing the next thing in my life. Like, I'm not getting anywhere with my job, if that makes any sense. Like, I just got a promotion and basically that's the highest I can go with my degree in that job. And if I were to go to another place, I could get probably a couple dollars extra, but also my insurance wouldn't be as good, and I would have a lot more stress and a higher caseload. And I enjoy my job, I enjoy my supervisor and our relationship. So if I go anywhere else, that would be like higher up, like getting a promotion because I'd get more money or whatever. It wouldn't be fulfilling. And with a bachelor's in social work, there's not a whole ton you can do. So now I'm at the standstill of two roads that I could take in my life, and I don't think right now either of them are a good choice, even though they're things that I'm very passionate about. And those two things are going to get my master's degree in social work and then being a school social worker. And the other thing that I could go and do is become a mom. And I want both, but I don't know how to get both financially or emotionally. And I feel like I have to do one over the other first and then have the other one come into play. So like get my master's degree and then have a child. And that's a crappy feeling solely because I don't want to wait for kids because I'm already 23, and I know that's very young, but to me I've always pictured myself having all of my kids before I'm 30. And if I go get my master's degree, it's going to be 2 years, and I don't want to be pregnant or like having a baby before I get my master's degree. Like, I want to either have kids, wait till they're older and then get my master's degree, or get my master's degree and then have kids. Or I guess I could do both at the same time. And that's a scary feeling to not really have an idea of like what to expect in the future, and I don't like it. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what the plan is for Trey and I, and honestly I don't really know how to fulfill that plan. I'm using Tanacon because I didn't really like diet root beer in here. So yeah. But that's just kind of like a standstill that I'm at, like with my life and what to do and what I should be doing, just because I don't have like a set, I don't know, I just don't really have exactly what I want to do with my life right now set in stone, and that kind of makes me nervous because I've always had exactly, like I know exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and all that, but right now that's just not happening. And I don't know what to do with my life, really. I enjoy my job, but like it's not my dream job. It's not what I want to do the rest of my life. And honestly, like being a social worker in schools or anything like that. Like that's like my dream job, like realistic dream job, but like YouTube would really be the end all be all dream job for me. I really don't like consistency, if that makes any sense. Like I don't enjoy having to get up every day at the same time and going to work. And like I do enjoy my job because a lot of it is inconsistent. Like I do a lot of things on my own accord with my patients. Like I schedule my stuff with my patients, and like my boss doesn't tell me like when my appointments are. Like I can schedule them all with the parents, and I work with the parents and the kids and what's best for their schedule, and then I fit it into mine. So like a lot of it is fun because I don't have someone tell me you have to do this, and like I create my own schedule. So like I can choose to get up at the crack of dawn at 7 to go to work and get off by 4, or I could choose to stay in, like if I don't have an appointment until 10, I can stay home until 9:15 to wake up and go to work at 10 if I want. So it's just like, I enjoy that, but I don't like, I don't know, it's not that I don't like it, it's just I wish that I had more control with like my career choice. I'm using Cry on My Couch now because I feel like I should use a lighter color right here, and I way much better like that. That's not good English, but yeah. But yeah, I think that if I could choose between social work and YouTube, I would choose YouTube, simply because I think that I could incorporate what I've learned in my degree and what I've experienced and my knowledge to help people, and that's really all I want to do, is to help people while also fulfilling my own wants and needs. And part of that is to like travel and experience life, and I honestly feel right now like I'm not experiencing life. I'm not traveling, I'm not doing anything that's fulfilling my soul, other than the fact that I'm helping people, and I feel like I'm making somewhat of a difference in some people's lives who have nothing and have no one and are depressed or anxious, and I feel like I'm helping them, but also like I'm not doing a lot for myself, if that makes sense. And part of self-care and part of being in that field is finding things that fulfill you, and I think things that would help fulfill me is traveling and experiencing things with Trey and going to places I've never been before, but we can't afford that. And even if we could afford it, we couldn't do it because I have like people that depend on me to see them weekly and to help them, and it's just like a weird thing because I care about my patients and I care about the work I'm doing, and I want to make sure I'm doing a good job, but it's also like hard to, I don't know, you know, does anyone know what I mean? It's hard to like fulfill my dreams and still like, I don't know, I just would like to do YouTube as like a full-time consistent job that I can make money in, and I don't think that'll ever happen truly, and that's kind of like shattering my heart a little bit because I truly enjoy YouTube, and I think that if I had more time and money, like if I actually made money off of YouTube and I could like justify putting so much energy and time into it, then I could do a lot more creative things, and I could actually do things that people would enjoy watching. But it's like this endless cycle of, do you put all this time, effort, energy into something that you think might not ever happen, or do you put time, energy, and effort into your real life and into like things that are most likely gonna happen, as like going to school and starting a family. Like it's like this weird thing, like I want to start a family, but also like if I ever were to get the opportunity to travel, having kids would prevent me from doing that for a little bit at least, and I'm not ready to settle down if I can eventually like down the line have an opportunity to travel. So it's, I don't know, it's a very weird thing, but I do want to say that I thoroughly enjoy YouTube, and I appreciate people who take the time to make me feel like people care and listen to me. And I hope someday that I can have the opportunity to have a lot of people care and listen to me and prove to myself that I'm not just someone who doesn't deserve it, because for a lot of my life I've been like the outcast. I've been the person who is on the outs, and I've been the person who people look at as like a joke or like this weird person. I feel like I've always been that person on the outside, and it would be nice to be a person who could allow those outside people to feel like they're on the inside, if that makes any sense, and to give people a platform and a voice who don't have it. And right now I don't have that platform or voice, but I feel like if I could have that platform or voice, I could do good things with it and make a difference and help people. And I don't know, that's just what I feel. So yeah, huge ramble about things that you guys probably could care less about, but something I have thought about a lot lately and I struggle with because I enjoy YouTube so much, but a lot of us little folk who have big dreams and no way to achieve them can't compete, and that's just the fact of the matter, that we can't, and that's okay. I would just like to do a lot of things that I can't do now, and it sucks. So that's all I was trying to say, but I'm not trying to be like negative Nancy over here or like be depressing, because that's not the goal, but I do want to be realistic with myself, and I understand that I'm just not as good as the big guys, and that's okay. Like, I get it. It sucks, but I get it, and I appreciate the people who do watch me and who do come week to week whenever I upload weekly, when I have the time and the energy. I appreciate you guys. So that's a big thing I wanted to say, is like, thank you for taking the time to care whenever a lot of people don't care. Let me see if Shane and Rose's palette, the color Love, if I could maybe use that as powder for setting. I don't want it to make me more white, but I want to have at least something, anything on my face to set this foundation, or else I think it's gonna look really cakey. I do want to say, like, if you have the dream to be a YouTuber, like, don't give up, but also like be realistic with yourself, and don't, like, I guess my thing is, don't hold back on your regular life because you expect to have a successful YouTube channel, I guess is the best way to put that. It's not always about like money for some people. I've not made a single penny from YouTube, so it's clearly not about money for me. I always try to use the highlight brush, but it doesn't work for me. I don't like it. So we are not using that. So we're gonna use this big brush, even though people are like, whoa, I'm a highlight, calm down. I have hope that someday, somehow, YouTube will become a job for me. And in order for it to be a job, like for me to determine, yo, this is a job, I made it, I would need to make as much money as I'm making now a month. It's not necessarily money thing, but like for me to truly like start putting all my energy to quit my job to like do this full time, what I would need to be making is about $2,000 a month. Right now I only make like $1,800 a month. So making a little bit more than what I'm making now would be like the push to be like, all right, I can do this. This is like a career for me. I can do it. I can handle it. It's something that I'm passionate about, and I'm making money for it, so I can justify quitting my job and full blown doing this. So I'm actually almost monetized. So like I'm close, but like we ain't getting there yet. So that kind of sucks, but we're almost there. This is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I'm not great at makeup, but I think that it looks pretty good, so let me know. Ignore the lipstick. I literally, for the life of me, cannot figure out how to put lipstick on. I did put on Jeffree What the Fuck, but it looked terrible, so this doesn't look much better. I do not know how to apply lipstick. My lips are very small and it's hard to put it on correctly, so yes, the application is going to look terrible, so ignore the lipstick. I did use Labyrinth City's lipstick 6 in the Lip Stories from Sephora, and then Bare Minerals Juju Matte. This and then this on top of it for that color. If you're wanting to know, probably not because it's not good, but I figured like a more neutral pinky color would be better than a really bright lipstick. I had a couple of options, but these all didn't look good, so I had to take this one off, and then I was gonna use this one, but I was like, no, whatever, I'm gonna do this. So sorry, but yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. May all your stars align, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.